is going to be just the pen tool coming across. If you let go, just click on it, and it'll let you continue building this up. So you can kind of build the lines. I'm going as far as I can, trying to find the center of that curve to be placed in there. And again, trying to take these lines that you can see and just attaching them. I might try a live paint up there, and you can see this one comes a little further, so I'm just going to undo it and go back up into the midpoint of that shape. So you can kind of slowly see these lines escalating here like that. So that gives you at least the beginning part of it. So as you go through, you can see this outside section. Just hitting the Command key to let go so I can start a new path. So here I'm just clicking and dragging the handle a little bit so it presets the curve and coming to the outside edge like this, so you can kind of get it pretty close. This one's probably too far, so I'm going to back up and just drag the handles out from each anchor point and let it set itself up from there. And any of these points, as long as nothing's selected, you can detract from it. If you have to change anything, just come right back to the midpoint. And this kind of sets it up. And so, for example, this one's a little too far, outreach too far, so just come back a little bit. You're trying to put the least amount of points onto your image there. It just takes a little getting used to for dragging these pen points out. And remember, when you click the mouse, not this mouse, but this mouse, you can select and hold the spacebar down to create that shape. Taking a look at this path right there. So I'm going to take that one out and just do this one a little differently. Try not to connect it. And if you need to edit this, the direct selection tool allows you to bring that part up. So this is just using the pen tool. Here's the curve. And I'm clicking and dragging as I come down, so remember you have to set it as a corner point to get a straight line there. Here's the spacebar helping me place that in there. So it'll give you a little bit more control here. I'm just going to start a new path right here. So you can kind of see the distance from it. Command minus to subtract it down there. And that'll give you at least the beginning section of that. Just dragging the points out first. And then I'll be right out of your way here. And again, this circular part, I might just go ahead and use the elliptical tool. Spacebar offset a little bit. And then just use the pen tool on this part. Come back later, I'll show you how to color it. But then with the pen tool, I'm selecting these using the palette with the stroke. And here's the stroke palette, so I'll just bring this over here. And remember that you have the end caps, which you can round off for this part. You can change the profile if you want to add a little bit of a shape to it. You can change the size thickness of it there. So as you grab a couple of these, you can kind of get an idea of how you could change some of the lines if you want that to be straighter line. And you can also modify and create your own profile as you go through some of this, but it gives you a little bit of the line weight to it. And remember also that on the outside one of this line, here's the width tool But if you wanted to stretch this across, you can see it does that thickness. It does it with the Option key, just half of it. And depending on which direction you drag with the Option key is going to give you that line to build that up. So it'll give you a little bit more variety to that line segment. And you have to decide on your illustration how that's going to look. Again, and you get to the end point, you can make those wider or smaller as well. But that'll be there. Your look to it. So see if you can take that selection into the next part. Might button back onto your screen real quick just to show you this section. Once you have this piece illustrated, I'll just duplicate it down here just to show it to you, that you want to color this, and part of it is that you have to make it so that you can. So if you go to the shape builder, you'll see that some of the lines are shaped, some aren't connected yet, depending on how it was drawn. So while it's all selected, just going to go to Object Path and outline the stroke. And now when I take this shape builder, you'll see that all of the pieces look as if they're going to be able to be shaded there. And what you need to do then is just double click on the shape builder tool, and you can see highlighted the stroke, filling it with the color. This will give you the options for placing it together to give you the color straight from the selection. So in your color panel, you can take this part and it'll let you start to color in these pieces. So you can slowly bring that together. So there's a color choice, and just kind of making sure. Now this is the cap lock, so it turns into a crosshair, or if you turn it on, it's the cursor style on that as well. So you can see the clicking and the carrying on of that piece right there. And that'll give you a little bit of the color choice that you can take over with. So just to show you that selection there. So that'll give you the option to color that in from the line drawing, copying it, doing the outline tracing, and that'll give you that selection for you to take a look at.